filling up last year's pallet garden and deciding how big we wanted this year's garden to be, my husband started framing out the sides. He added a few small touches for me, like side seats and a long bench that goes across the entire back. It took a lot more dirt than we thought to fill this garden up. We used compost, topsoil, and peat moss. My husband also built these cute walkways to place in the garden wherever I wanted for easy access. Before we filled the garden up completely, I used a stain to protect the wood. After the stain dried, we took down a piece of our fence and finished filling up the garden with dirt. Here is my garden in full swing. I like the big bench in the back because I'm able to set my flower pots and little knickknacks on it. I am totally in love with how this looks. I love my garden this year. I wanted to take it up a notch from the pallet garden last year, so after we tore that up and we built this, my backyard is beautiful. I love it. We started by creating a straight line on the ground with the stones. Then we made the circle to go around the back. After running out of stones from our old fire pit, we had to make a trip to the hardware store. We couldn't find the exact stone we used previously, so we just bought the closest kind they had. When it came to the sides, I used yet a different kind of stone because the ones I bought had a small lip on the back and I couldn't get them to lay right. My entire family was involved in making our new fire pit. The kids just could not wait to get finished so they could start roasting marshmallows. My family and I had a lot of fun recreating this Pinterest find. It wasn't hard, it was very simple to follow, just the picture that I saw. We didn't have to do anything special except for make a few extra trips back to the hardware store for some stone. It was quite expensive to build. It was about $1.50 per stone that we used. So you can choose any stone that you want, though. Some's more expensive, some's cheaper, depends on what look that you're going for. However, I would say that this pit is a total success. First, my husband used his saw and cut out a section near the top of the longest beam, but not cutting through entirely. He then placed the shorter beam in that spot, securing the two together with screws. He dug a deep hole and he put in concrete before placing the beam inside and covering it all with dirt. We let the concrete set for 48 hours before hanging our line. We decided to use our privacy fence on the other side of the clothesline to help save room in our small backyard and to cut costs. After deciding which hooks we wanted to use to hang our line on, it was time to figure out how to properly tie a knot. My son figured out a great knot, and I was quickly on my way to drying our clothes outside in the fresh air. I love my new clothesline. We did change things a little bit from what I've seen on Pinterest with the wood. We kind of did it however we wanted to do it and what we thought would work best for us. It costs about $65 for everything, including the clothesline and the little hooks and the wood. But you have to note that we only created one of the crosses to put our clothesline on, and then on the other side we attached it to the privacy fence. So that cut our cost down quite a bit. However, I would say this is a totally successful pin, and you should go try this at home. Our first stop was the hardware store to buy stones to go around my tree in the backyard. There were a lot of different types to choose from. As you can see, my tree needed help and was really becoming an eyesore when I looked out my kitchen window. My husband started by making a circle around the bottom of the tree using the stones we picked out. He used a garden hoe and a basic level to do the job. I went behind him and placed the top 2 layers of stone as he finished the bottom layer and created the circle. After the stone was finished being placed, we went and got a load of dirt in the truck. It was cheaper to buy topsoil like this than bag by bag. My son helped us unload the dirt and level it out around the tree. My oldest daughter and I then planted different bulbs that will come up next year and every year after that. For the finish, I added some mulch over the dirt, and I just loved the way it turned out. This was a perfect Pinterest find. Here's our tree the following spring with the flowers in full bloom. This project made my ugly tree look beautiful, and it also made my backyard smell so good with the flowers. When I found this pin on Pinterest, I knew exactly the tree that I would try it out on. I absolutely love the way it turned out and the way it looks from my kitchen window now. It was quite expensive, however you can choose different types of stones and you don't have to build them as high as we did. The dirt was about $20 because we decided to go to a local place and use our truck instead of buying bags at the hardware store. My first stop after seeing the pin on Pinterest was Michael's craft store. I bought letters that were already the color I needed, along with a UV resistant clear coat so they could hold up to the weather. I also stopped by a hardware store and got the hooks to hang our tools and rakes on. After spraying the letters and letting them dry, we got to work on hanging them. I drilled small holes in each and my husband nailed the letters to the side of the shed. After hanging the hooks, we tried a few ways of displaying our tools. Eventually, we figured out that we would have to improvise a small bit because some things stuck out further than our hooks. However, as you can see, the finished product has turned out great. Our children and our adult friends both love this. We did go into the shed and put up 2x4 support beams so that way whenever we put the hooks and the outside, they had some support on the inside. Other than that, we did everything that was in the picture on the pin. There was nothing that we couldn't figure out, nothing that we couldn't handle. It was easy, it was simple, cost around $80, but the price could probably be cut by 1/3 if you don't buy colored letters. I spent a lot on the colored letters. However, I would say this pin's a success. Make sure the bird bath you choose is deep enough to hold your plants. Add the dirt and plants and then rock around the plants. Any color rock will work. Make sure to water your new little garden on a regular basis at first. Here's my bird bath garden at the end of last summer. Here's my bird bath garden that I just planted this spring. I think this looks fantastic. I love it in my front yard. I love the bird bath look. The flowers, you can choose any that you want, so your ideas are endless. You don't have to put this in a bird bath. You can use just about anything you want to plant succulents in. This is a totally successful pin and you should try it at home. Lemon juice to lighten your hair in the sun? Let's see if this pin works. First we got our lemons and squeezed them to make a bowl of juice. Here's my daughter's hair before the lemon juice treatment. I helped her pour the bowl of juice over her head, making sure to thoroughly saturate her hair. Then she sat outside for over an hour waiting on the sun to do its thing. After washing her hair and drying it, unfortunately nothing changed and her hair is still the same. So if you're looking to get your hair lighter, just go to the salon. These lemons, they didn't work so well. She was outside for over an hour in the sun, just letting her hair do its thing with the lemon juice on it. And when she came back in and washed it, nothing had happened except she got clean hair. So, go to the salon if you want to lighten your hair, because this pin does not work. Creating little designer stones for your garden? Let's see how easy this pin is. You will need outdoor acrylic paints to start with. I got mine at the local craft store for 69 cents each. Grab your paper towels, paintbrushes, and a protective sealant to finish it off. I got the stones for less than $1 each at the hardware store and started by letting my kids paint them in any design and color they wanted. Some did Minecraft cakes and apples. Others did outdoor pictures or handprints. I just let them make these stones into anything. When the kids were done and the paint had dried, I sprayed them with the protective finish. Here are 2 stones my girls made about 7 years ago. These stones last a long time and make for great gifts. As you can see, these were so easy to make and they turned out super cute. You can do any design, anything that you want. Make little stones for your garden with basil and corn and carrots. The ideas are endless. So, totally try this at home because this is a successful pen. Don't leave yet. Wait. Have you subscribed to my channel for daily DIY Pinterest videos? What are you waiting for? Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Taking little pieces of broken crayon and making them into new crayons? How easy is this pen gonna be?